Can start. Take the section. Kindly
Yes.
take over.
Okay, thank you so much, Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Please accept my humble obeisances on behalf of everyone who will join, and even will see this in a recording on YouTube. All glories to Prabhupada. Thank you for always having myself every Sunday. And today we are doing Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 2, verse 31. And we are really happy that you are here with us. So kindly, thank you so much. Professor Kishkamadaji, would you kindly start us with the Manga Charana today? Thank you.
I will, but kindly share the words on your screen. And if you can't, I have it ready.
Vigyanatimurandasya Ganangana Shalakaya Chakshuranamitam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Taitanimano Pistam Stapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Tadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shiyata Padakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamsta Shri Rupam Sargajatam Sahagana Raganatam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Sabadutam Parijana Sayatam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Deva Shri Radha Krishna Padan Lalita Shiva Shakan Vitamscha Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostuste Tapta Kantana Gaurange Radhe Vrindavanishwari Vrishabhanu Sutadevi Prananami Hari Priye Vanchakalpa Churvascha Kripa Sindhavadevcha Janan Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Shri Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So we're continuing with our study of Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 2. Today's text is number 32. Uddhava, Sri Uddhava and Vidurji are continuing their discussion of Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So as we touched upon last week, this is a unique area of Srimad Bhagavatam. And this is actually a summary of Lord Krishna's pastimes being recited by Uddhava. And we will not hear such detail again until the 10th canto. So I'll read the Sanskrit. Ayajayad Gosavena Gopa Rajan Dritotamai Vitasya Chodo Padasya Chikirshan Sadvayan Vivu. Word for word. Ayajayat, made to perform. Gosavena, by worship of the cows. Gopa Rajan, the king of the cowherds. Dvija Uttamai, by the learned Brahmins. Vitasya, of the wealth. Cha, also. Uru Barasya, great opulence. Chikirshan, desiring to act. Sat Vyayam, proper utilization. Vibhu, the great. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. ISKCON Founder Acharya, ISKCON BBT Founder Acharya, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. The Supreme Lord Krishna desired to utilize the opulent financial strength of Maharaj Nanda for worship of the cows, and he also wanted to give a lesson to Indra, the king of heaven. Thus he advised his father to perform worship of Go, or the pasturing land, and the cows, with the help of learned Brahmins. So who would like to read the purport?
I can read the purport, Prabhuji.
Oh, all right.
Purport by Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Since he is the teacher of everyone, the Lord also taught his father, Nanda Maharaj. Nand Maharaj was a well-to-do landholder and owner of many cows, and he was custom, and as was the custom, he used to perform yearly worship of Indra, the king of heaven, with great opulence. This worship of demigods by the general populace is also advised in the Vedic literature, just so people can accept the superior power of the Lord. The demigods are servants of the Lord, deputed to look after the management of various activities of the universal affairs. Therefore, it is advised in the Vedic scriptures that one should perform yagnas to appease the demigods, but one who is devoted to the Supreme Lord has no need to appease the demigods. Worship of the demigods by common people is an arrangement for acknowledging the supremacy of the Supreme Lord, but it is not necessary. Such appeasement is generally recommended for material gains only, as we have already discussed in the second canto of this literature. One who admits the supremacy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead does not need to worship the secondary demigods. Sometimes being worshipped and adorned by less intelligent living beings, the demigods become puffed up with power and forget the supremacy of the Lord. This happened when Lord Krishna was present in the universe, and thus the Lord wanted to give a lesson to the king of heaven, Indra. He therefore asked Maharaj Nanda to stop the sacrifice offered to Indra and to use the money properly by performing a ceremony worshipping the cows and pasturing grounds of the hill of Govardhan. By this act, Lord Krishna taught human society, as he has instructed in the Bhagavad Gita also, that one should worship the Supreme Lord by all acts and by all their results. That will bring about the desired success. The Vaishyas are specifically advised to give protection to the cows and their pasturing ground or agricultural land instead of squandering their hard-earned money. That will satisfy the Lord. The perfection of one's occupational duty in the sphere of duty to oneself, one's community, or one's nation is judged by the degree to which the Lord is satisfied. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, over to you.
Thank you very much. And the text again, the Supreme Lord Krishna desired to utilize the opulent financial strength of Maharaj Nanda for worship of the cows. And he also wanted to give a lesson to Indra, the king of heaven. Thus he advised his father to perform worship of Go, or the pasturing land, and the cows, with the help of learned Brahmins. So this is, it's Srimad Bhagavatam. We know that. But Srimad Bhagavatam, Srila Prabhupada translates as the beautiful story of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And totally devoted to pure devotion, pure love of Krishna, unlike almost all the other parts of the Vedic scriptures. It is Purana, it is glorified, Puranam Amalatmanam, the supremely pure Purana. And in the very beginning of the first canto, we may remember there are a number of verses that glorify Srimad Bhagavatam and this hearing about Krishna. Shrinvata Swakata Krishna, Punya Shravana Kirtana, Viryantasto Abhadrani, Vidanoti Saritsatam. Shrinvata, to hear Swakata Krishna, by one's own effort to hear Krishna Kata. Shrinvata Swakata Krishna, Punya Shravana Kirtana, that just by hearing and speaking about Krishna, Krishna Katha, one accumulates punya. One doesn't even need to understand it. It's not an intellectual thing. It is mystical, spiritual, dynamic. Punya Shravana, Ridyanta Sto, Abhadrani, that just by hearing, just like at some point we sweep, right? We sweep our flat, or the front, the porch, we take the broom, we sweep. Sweeping. Sweep all the dust and leaves, whatever may be there, we sweep. And in the house also, we are sometimes we're wiping, right? The counters, the tables, tops, wiping away the dust. So abhadra means unwanted things. Punya Shrava, Ridyanta Sto, within the heart, Rida. Just like that verse, Sarvasitaham Riddhi, Tani Brahma Riddhi, the first verse of Bhagavad Gita. So Rid is the heart. And different mantras that begin with Ha or Hum, they especially connect to the heart chakra. So anyway, Reem, Shreem. So Shri is Mother Lakshmi, opulence, and Reem, love and beauty, Reem of the heart. So Ridyantastu, that just by hearing, our heart becomes cleansed of unwanted ignorance and darkness, material desires, all the abhadras. That's one of the stages of our bhakti process, isn't it? That we perform bhajana kriya and we gradually achieve anartha nivritti, removing unwanted things. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, this Krishna consciousness movement, it's so much dedicated to giving all of us and everyone the opportunity to regularly hear about Krishna. And Srila Prabhupada established all the different temples and preaching centers so that people could come regularly and hear about Krishna. And here we see that this Maharaj Pariksit, what is he doing? He's just sitting for 7 days hearing about Krishna. And here today, Vidura, what is he doing? He left the house of the Kurus and traveling, and he met with Uddhava, hearing about Krishna. This is the central focus of our Krishna bhakti. So Uddhava, going on to describe more of Lord Krishna's pastimes in Vrindavan. This is the Govardhan Leela that we celebrate in the fall, where Lord Krishna lifted Govardhan Hill and protected the residents of Vrindavan from the huge monsoon, triple cyclone sent by King Indra. So Srila Prabhupada discusses this he's discussing in the purport. So the background, as we may know, is that Nanda Maharaj, Krishna's father, was preparing to do the yearly jagya, the offering to Indra, who supplies the rain. And of course, nothing grows without rain, and the cows can't get grass without rain, and such an important thing rain is. and it's certainly something to be appreciated. And we should appreciate how we get rain. And so Nanda Maharaj was doing the usual yearly offering of gratefulness. Gratefulness. Thank you. Thank you for supplying the rain. So Krishna, he is God, and everyone is a servant of Krishna. Everyone is subordinate to Krishna. And the demigods, as we hear, they are uh, essentially devotees, very religious, cultured personalities, very powerful. And occasionally, because they are not all pure devotees, they get carried away. You know, just like we see, right? We see people, men and women here, who have a lot of money or they have a lot of fame. Sometimes they get carried away. They forget how it is that they have all of that, and they become arrogant and rude to other people and uh, ungrateful. They forget their position. So occasionally the demigods also, everyone, all of us in this material world, we are under some degree of ignorance. So Krishna knew that Indra was a little carried away, and so he wanted to uh, help him, help him get rid of that pride. Pride is a serious obstacle um, in life, and especially in spiritual life. So Krishna wanted to help his devotee. So he said to Nanda Maharaj that forget Indra. don't you don't have to do anything for why do you have to pay attention to him? You just do your work and you just live your life and rain will come. Why do you have to do anything special? And actually, isn't it that this hill, this Govardhan hill, I mean, there's grass growing on it and cows eat that, and there's waterfalls and there's water and there's shade of the trees, and this Govardhan hill is actually giving you whatever the people of Vrindavan need. So you should just appreciate Govardhan Hill. So Indra, he became very offended that he forgot Krishna. Actually, he forgot Krishna's position. Oh, what is this little boy? What is this young boy saying? Who is he to say anything, what to do? And he's advising his father, and these people are listening to Krishna. And he became mad. He became angry. Of course, it's an arrangement of Krishna. But so then he thought, I'll send a lot of rain and I'll flood everything and I'll wash everything away, and then they'll become humble. So uh, Krishna knew that he would act like that, and eventually Krishna saved everyone, and Indra realized he had been a real silly person, and he came and he uh, apologized to Krishna and offered many prayers. And this is the Govardhan uh, Leela, when Lord Krishna lifted Govardhan Hill on his pinky. So how could a little boy do that? A little boy couldn't do that. That's just the point. So, well, how could a boy lift anything heavy? He can't. But if we understand that this is Bhagavan, that this is God uh, performing a pastime, a Leela, for some particular purpose, oh, all right, so I guess that's possible. Sure. Planet Earth is just hanging in space. I mean, if we take one mango, or if you take a pencil off your desk right now and you drop, the pencil goes down, no? Goes down. You take one hair from the head, let go, goes down. But this planet It's just hanging in space. So someone may say, well, there's this reason of physics, but how is it that there is such a law of physics that the planet is just, it is. You look at the moon, right? The moon is just hanging. And how heavy is the moon? Why doesn't it fall down? So this is the mystic arrangement of God. So powerful. So if he wants to lift anything, he can do it. This is common sense. It's just, yeah, of course. I mean, we can't imagine it, but of course. I mean, if he can make an arrangement that planets can hang in space, then anything is possible. So Srila Prabhupada is speaking in the purport that the worship of the demigods, someone may say, well, why is there discussion about worshiping demigods in the Vedic scriptures? If it's not necessary to worship the demigods, why even talk about it? Why bring it up? Why confuse people? Why not just Srimad Bhagavatam and that's it? That's end of the story. But not everyone is ready for that, just like not everyone is ready for geometry or trigonometry. There's mathematic levels for everyone. So it's better to be respectful of some kind of higher power than to be completely ignorant or atheistic. And so worship of the demigods, that, oh, this demigod is controlling the sun, the moon, the rain, uh, control of money and success in life and obstacles. And there's certain, just like there in Kenya or anywhere, there's ministers, right? And and then there's secretaries of the ministers, and then there's government offices. If you want to build something or do something, you have to get the license, you have to get the permit, you have to get permission, right? So the universal government, and so it's just so there are some of us who appreciate that, and so they have an interest to pay respect to the prime ministers of the universe, ministers of the universe, and because we're in need. We're always needing something. We need food to eat, we need money, we need a job, we need a place to live, so many things, medicines, um, protection against different challenges. We're always needing something. So sometimes we go to the bank officer. Oh, I want a loan so I can fix my house, build another house, go to college. So we go to the bank, we go to the government institution and we ask for something. So we're always, so the demigods, those who are intelligent, they recognize that there are such demigods and that it could be very useful to please them and ask for assistance. And so we have uh, Durga Ma and Ganeshji and Indra and Sri Surya Dev and Lord Shiva, Parvati. So many different demigods. And so there are many, many people actually, relatively small, but there's a lot of people who do regular puja and pay respect, just like, isn't it in the fall? It's the time for Lakshmi Puja, the beginning, I think, of October. And then there's another time of year, especially for 4 times a year, for paying respect to Ganesh. And I think in February it's devoted to Shiva Puja. There's a particular day. But Srila Prabhupada points out, and the Vedic scriptures point out, that it's not actually necessary. I mean, suppose you have, I don't know, what's the name of the prime minister in Kenya now? I don't know. They're the prime minister, the head person. So if you have a
president
relationship,
called Ruto. We have the
So,
President Ruto.
okay. So if you have a relationship with him or her, what do you need the ministers for? You can go direct, isn't it? Oh, can I build this thing? Can I do this business? Can I have this special visa or whatever it is? The president can give it. You don't have to talk to the minister. So it's the same thing. If we have a relationship with Krishna, with Bhagavan, with Lord Vishnu, then we don't, although we should not be disrespectful uh, to anyone, but we don't need to do some special with puja of anyone else. It's not necessary. And the ministers or the demigods, they'll be very happy with us. Oh, you're being devoted to the head man. Good. We're devoted to the head man. So actually, if we know someone who is worshiping Lord Shiva or doing Durga Puja, we can offer them a suggestion that if you really want to please them, sing bhajan of Krishna. Sing Krishna bhajan, chant Hare Krishna in front of them, and they'll be so happy with you. And if that's what you want to do, you want to please them, then that's the best way, really. So it's not necessary, and Lord Krishna tells us that in the Bhagavad Gita. Um, and especially those of us uh, who are forgetful of the real purpose of human life, uh, who are caught up thinking that just to survive in this world is the goal of life, or to enjoy as much as possible. For people who are thinking like that, um, and then for them, the worship of the demigods is uh, all they need. They don't think, or they think they don't need anything else or anyone. And just like suppose, like I brought this up before, this example of amnesia. And so imagine a whole group of people who have amnesia, they've forgotten uh, who they are. And so they have some life, that they may not remember who they are, but they have their life. And that's all they know. And generally, we human beings, we get attached to what we're doing, whatever it is. Um, it's we don't like to change because we're eternal. We want everything to remain the same. Uh, so there was one, as I mentioned at some point, long ago, maybe 2,500 years ago or something. There was one great thinker, Plato, and he wrote one narrative. It was called The Cave, and he had pretty deep understanding. So this story of the cave was that somehow some people got lost in a cave, and there were generations of them. They had children and grandchildren and great grandchildren, and they just couldn't find their way. Somehow they were living in the cave, eating whatever they could find. Somehow they made a life. And and by the time you get to the great grandchildren, that's all they know. There's hardly anyone who remembers outside with the trees and the birds and the sun and the breezes and the fruits and the flowers. They've forgotten. And if some nonsense person starts talking about, well, there's this amazing place, and it's not like the cave, it's like, you're crazy. Leave me alone. Don't bother me. Some of them may say that. Other people may be interested. Oh, really? Where did you hear that? Uh, but many of us, we get very habituated, isn't it? We get very used to a certain routine, even if it's difficult, even if it's not pleasant. Um, uh, we don't want to change. We're afraid of change. Oh, what will I do if this is all I know? I'm eating the bats, I'm eating the rats, and I'm eating these bugs, and there's some water, and this is where I sleep, and this is what we do, and this is what my father taught me, and that's all I know. It's not uncommon. I mean, believe it or not, it does happen that people who have been in prison for 10, 20, 30 years, sometimes they're in anxiety that I don't know. I don't know about going out there in the world and I have to get a place to live and a job. And at least here, I know it's a structured routine and I'm used to it. And there's food 3 times a day and there's showers and I've learned how to, get by. And now I have to start a whole, it's a little, it's anxiety. It could be anxiety. I don't know. 2 sides. Oh yeah, that's good, but I don't know. So this is just human psychology. So that's why, this is exactly why many times when when people hear about the Krishna and hear about the spiritual world, it's just off the radar. It's just not something they've ever heard about, and the idea that I might go to a different place, but I like what I'm doing here. And I like what I know. I'm here in the cave. I have my bats, I have my rats, I have the food, I have, whatever it is that I'm eating. And what's the problem? That's just human psychology. We get used to it to some degree, even if there's some better place. It's true. And it's the same thing. It's the same thing. We hear about Vaikuntha and Goloka and going back to Godhead, and I don't know. Uh, so therefore, uh, awakening, awakening. When we wake up in the morning, sometimes we don't just jump out of our bed and it's like, oh, where am I? I have to wake up. You're right. Especially if you're very, very tired, or if you're in some different place sleeping, you wake up. Where am I? What's going on? So, um, so all of us, we're at different points of spiritual awakening, which begins with, I don't like this place too much. I mean, it's whoa. I mean, there's just so many challenges and so many, and then I have to die. Even if somehow I make it through, I pay the mortgage, my kids grow up, and then I'm taken out. I'm just taken away. What is this? So this is the beginning actually uh, of awakening. That I want something more. Therefore, matirna Krishna parato svato va, uh, that Prahlad Maharaj, was it Prahlad Maharaj or was it? Yeah, it was Prahlad Maharaj. He said, those who are too addicted to materialistic life, it's so difficult to be interested in Krishna Bhakti. And even Prahlad Maharaj says that for such persons who are very addicted to living in the cave, even if they want to wake up or if someone tries to wake them up, they're just uh, so habituated and addicted to that way of life. It's difficult. And we also have some, for each of us, there's still some uh, addiction that, oh, I can be happy. I can be happy. There's some pieces of our mind that still think like that. Yeah, if I could just have this and that, oh, then I could be happy. So this is anartha, hridyanta sto abhadrani. And then as people want, is there anything else? Is there anything different? Oh, and so then we share about Krishna consciousness. Oh, that sounds, so that is Shraddha, Adau Shraddha. Oh, that's interesting. Let me check that out. I'm looking for something better. I keep trying to do the same old things to be happy, and it just, how many bowls of ice cream can you have? It just gets sick of it. And you can only eat so many biscuits, and actually anything that we do, 2, 3 times, and I've had enough of that. I'm tired, I'm sick of that. And there's nothing that's permanent. So people begin to realize this. Even I remember I was 16, I think. Yeah, I remember. I was in high school. Yeah, so I remember I would come home from high school, and there was no one in the house. It was just me. So I would, back then we had, I don't know if anyone knows, they're called records. Music was on these discs, and you put the disc in a player, and it makes the sound. So anyway, there were 2 or 3 musical groups that I really liked. Oh, they really spun my wheel. And every afternoon I come home and I put it on and turn it up loud, and oh, this is ecstasy. So I remember just sharing that at one point I thought to myself, I had this thought, I'll never get tired of this. That thought went through my head. 2.5 years later, I came home from school, I put it on the record player, and I thought, Uh, isn't there something else? I've heard this before. And Krishna reminded me right at that instant. Why would I remember that? But I remembered that thought that I had, and it hit me. And I looked down. My father, he had big record collection, big, maybe 200 different albums. And I looked down, and so the ones that he had bought recently, they were on the right. The 10 or 12. And then all the ones going to the left, he hardly listened. And so I looked down, Krishna led me. I looked down, and it's, one of those moments that we have, it's in German, it's called a Gestalt. It's just something all comes together at once. And it was shocking, because the next thing that I thought was, it's all like that. Can you imagine that? I'm 16 years old. I come home from high school. I put the record on. Yeah, I'm only 16, and I'm looking down and I'm thinking, my whole life is going to be like that. And I saw my whole life practically go in front of me. I did. This is what happened that afternoon within 2, 3, 4 minutes. And I thought, oh my God, I'm going to go to school. I'm going to get a job. I'm going to go to college. I'm going to get a job, get married, have kids, do this, do that, grow old, and I'm going to die. And everything I do that I try to be happy, it's going to be just like this. I'm going to work hard to get it. I'm going to really enjoy it. And then it's just going to fizzle out. And it was just, oh my God, what is going on here? So oh, you're just depressed. But it's true, isn't it? It's true. It's not I was depressed. Maybe I was, but it's true. Nothing we do will give us permanent happiness. We'll get sick of it at some, or get boring. Everything. And I had just started working. I got my first job washing pots in some restaurant. And I get my little paycheck every week. And it was work, washing all those pots. You wash the pots, and then the cooks bring more pots. You empty the sink and they bring more pots. It's like, oh my God. And and I'm just getting this little bit of money. Ah. So gradually, all of us, we come to dissatisfaction. And when we're feeling dissatisfied, then that that opens the door to hear about other possibilities. So that's what Prahlad Maharaj was saying, that those who are too satisfied with the ordinary material life, of course they're not going to be interested. What kind of crazy person who thinks they're happy in this world is going to be interested in Krishna Bhakti very much? It's not going to happen very much. So human life is meant for, as we know, awakening. So at the end of this purport, Srila Prabhupada writes that by this act, Lord Krishna taught human society, as he's instructed in Bhagavad Gita, that one should worship the Supreme Lord by all acts and by all their results. That will bring about the desired success. The Vaishyas are specifically advised to give protection to the cows and their pasturing ground instead of squandering their hard-earned money. That will satisfy the Lord. The perfection of one's occupational duty, whether in the sphere of duty to oneself, one's community, or one's nation, is judged by the degree to which the Lord is satisfied. So when I read that, I was reminded in the beginning of Srimad Bhagavatam, there's a string of verses that describe this perfection in the first canto, chapter 2, where Sutta Goswami is inquiring to the sages at the forest of Naimisharanya. So he says, O sages, I have been justly questioned by you. Your questions are worthy because they relate to Lord Krishna and so are of relevance to the world's welfare. Only questions of this sort are capable of completely satisfying the self. The supreme occupation for all humanity is that by which men can attain to loving devotional service unto the transcendent Lord. Such devotional service must be unmotivated and uninterrupted to completely satisfy the self. And that's what we're all looking for. This, what is that? The Sanskrit, Yayatma supersedati. That's the Sanskrit in this verse. By which we can become completely satisfied eternally. And we all want that. You know, why does anyone do anything? Because they want to be satisfied. They want to feel at peace and fulfilled. So Srimad Bhagavatam and Krishna is instructing us that the only thing that will satisfy you as spirit is spiritual activities, specifically devotion to Krishna. And to make it even more concrete, to glorify Krishna. That if you glorify Krishna, you speak about Krishna, you hear about Krishna, that will give you unending satisfaction. Yayatma supersedati. And therefore, the perfection of our activities in this world is perfect to the extent that it awakens an interest in hearing about Krishna and engages us in hearing and chanting about Krishna. So that is the next verse. By rendering devotional service unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, one immediately acquires causeless knowledge and detachment from the world. The occupational duties a man performs according to his own position are only so much useless labor if they don't provoke attraction for Krishna. Because if hearing about Krishna and speaking about him is the thing that's going to give us complete satisfaction, then attraction to do it is absolutely required, right? If we don't have an interest to hear about Krishna, and that's the thing that will satisfy us, we're in trouble. So therefore, all occupational engagements are certainly meant for ultimate liberation. They should never be performed for material gain. Furthermore, according to sages, one who is engaged in the ultimate occupational service should never use material gain to cultivate sense gratification. Life's desires should never be directed towards sense gratification. Just trying to be happy in this world with no other purpose, like the animals. That's animal life. one should desire only a healthy life or self-preservation, since a human being is meant for inquiry about the absolute truth. Nothing else should be the goal of one's works. So neat and clean, isn't it? Just in 4 or 5 verses, what our focus should be in this human life, what the career path is in this human life, what the perfection is in this human life, and how to attain it. Because I'm forgetful, at least I would say once a month I read through this chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam to remind myself, because everything is very clear there. We'll only be satisfied by bhakti, and therefore only activities that awaken bhakti are wanted or desirable, and that human life is only meant for, to make it really simple, hearing Bhagavad Gita, hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, discussing Srimad Bhagavatam, hearing lectures about Krishna, talking about, and that's it. That, whatever else we do is only meant to support that. And that makes it very simple. Should I do this or should I do that? Well, is it going to help my hearing about Krishna or is it not going to help? If it is, I'll do it. And if it's not going to, then I won't do it. Very simple. Because the more I hear about Krishna and speak about him, the more I'll awaken Hridyantasta Bhadrani. I'll wash away the sins in my heart. I'll awaken Rati, Ashakti, devotion to Krishna, Bhava, by hearing about him. And so therefore, that's what I'm doing with my life. And by doing that, my whole life, I can go back to Godhead. I will go back to Godhead. So this is our life, Vaishnav life. It's simple. Of course, there's so many challenges and hassles and things, but this is, we have to remind ourselves like this, keep our focus. So another thing that crossed my mind, Srila Prabhupada says here that one should worship the Supreme Lord by all acts and by all their results. The perfection of one's occupational duty is to be judged by the degree to which the Lord is satisfied. So something I've always found so wonderful, I feel very grateful for, is that we all don't have to live in the temple, so to speak. The temple isn't the only place where one can serve Krishna. No, 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 no. Srila Prabhupada has often said that Krishna consciousness is not some religious cult. It is a culture. It is a civilization. And everyone can connect with devotional service by working hard and hopefully doing the kind of work that we like to do, that's natural for us, with the aim that with the money I get, I carry on my own bhakti and I work for the mission of the Lord. And everyone can do this everywhere. That I'm not just going to work to maintain my family or to buy things for myself just for that only purpose, but I'm working for Krishna, which means I'm working for Krishna's mission. And as much as I can give my time, I can give my money, my intelligence, whatever I have towards the mission of the Lord, that is Krishna Bhakti. And that connects us. That's just like you take the plug, you put it in the wall, and you get the electrical connection. So this is how we, in a full way, practical way, connect our whole. It's not just when I do my puja, I'm serving Krishna. When I go to the mandir and I sing bhajan, then I'm serving. No, I can serve Krishna 28 hours a day just by my intent. Our work, I need to do my work so good, I can keep this job, I can get the money so I can go on doing my bhakti and giving whatever I can for spreading Krishna consciousness. I need to do it so well for Krishna. and I need to eat good, healthy, and I need to sleep good, and I need to have a whatever suitable thing I need in my life to carry on those two things. And that spiritualizes the whole thing tremendously. It offers that potential. That is not just a mundane activity. I'm looking for a car to buy. I need to get a good car that will last me as long as possible, save enough money so I can give more to Krishna. I don't waste it. I eat the right food that's, just so nutritious so I have energy to serve Krishna. Yes. And everything. I need to rest. Sometimes, especially, we're not until we're honestly on the level of Raganuga Bhakti and we're full of spontaneous ashakti for Krishna. There's a balance we must keep. We may go to the shore, to the beach for a few days. I'll go relax, just rest, and then I'll come back and focus full bore on my core life's activities like this. That's also spiritualized. So like this. So any questions or comments, discussion? Anything? Kush, sir, you always have good questions. He always keeps me on my toes.
He's not able to unmute.
If you have, or anyone.
Feel
Uh,
Kush Prabhuji is trying to. Okay. Yes, correct.
Prabhuji, we find also Mother Sita, so many elevated souls like Mother Sita, performing some worship towards demigods like was it demigods Gaura Parvati, so that he can get a husband on the same level as her in equal dharma, and that is how Sita Devi got by the mercy of goddess Gaura, God got a husband like Lord Ram. And here we are, such an elevated soul like Mother Sita, showing us when you want something like maybe a good husband for her, in case that is a material being, and she's going to demigods, and she got it, and she got Lord Ram. But now Krishna tells us it's really very unintelligent to go to demigods. Prabhuji, how do you find that? Don't you find maybe it's a little bit contradiction when Krishna says
it seems
it's
contradictory.
unintelligent?
Yeah, but the gopis did that too. They worshiped goddess Katyayani for a month. They only had bare rice and dal beans for a month, and they made little murtis of Katyayani from mud at the riverbank. But their prayer was that, my dear Ma, if you're pleased with my puja, please may we have Lord Krishna as our husband. So that's perfect. That's perfect. If we sing Shiva Bhajan for his pleasure, we offer respect, please help me serve my Shiguru and Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Perfect. But not for selfish purpose, that, please may I have this wealth or just for my sense gratification. And if we want anything, we can just ask the Lord of our heart, whoever, each of us. Sometimes some of us are attracted to Lord Ram, or Lord Nrsimha, Lord Chaitanya, Lord Vishnu, Lord Vamana, Krishna. Of course, it's all Bhagavan. They are all Bhagavan. But we only need to approach the president. We don't need to go to the prime ministers. They have to get permission to give it to us anyway. See, that's the thing. So. And if we, if we meet someone who, in their family for generations or for this one life, they're very devoted to Lord Shiva or Durga or Ganesh or whatever, there's no need to disturb anyone. Just, try and appreciate this principle. You only need to approach the president and the prime and these ministers. They'll be very happy if you're a devotee of Krishna. Just grasp this. You want to please them, good. Well, just grasp this point that they're devoted to Lord Vishnu. So if you're a devotee of Lord Vishnu, they'll have your obligation is done. They will give you, oh, very good. Just do that. We are happy with you. They're not going to be offended. They're not going to be offended. Oh, my dear Ma, I've understood now. Thank you. You've helped me to understand the just Krishna Bhakti I need to do. Thank you so much. And I'm going to give more attention in that direction. She'll be so happy with you. Yeah. And people, not just demigods, people worship ghosts and spirits and all kinds of things. So they can understand that Bhagavan is on top. And if he's happy, even if they're not happy, he'll be happy. And so you don't have to worry about it. He'll protect you. Any other questions or discussion? Sarvadama Priyaja Mamikam Sharana. You just surrender to me, and I'll take care of all your, don't worry, I'll take care of any obligation that you think is stopping you from being devoted to me. I'll take care of it. So this is faith.
Hare Krishna. Kush Prabhu, you have a question or
Yeah, I
comment?
have question, but if anyone wants to go first, maybe they can, I feel. Anyone
Go
else
ahead,
have
go
question?
ahead. I'll go after
Okay.
you.
Okay. Okay. So, Prabhuji, as I heard your lecture, you glorified the hearing about Krishna. So, I also been hearing about the glories of hearing recently in the discourses in the nearby temple. So one question I had, what's the difference between reading and hearing? Like we are reading Prabhupada books and like we are hearing lectures. So what's the difference? One devotee was lecturing, he said like the way I got it, maybe I did not get it perfectly right, that hearing is more powerful because then we are also imbibing in the mood of the devotee who is speaking. But I also like reading Prabhupada books because then there's a sequence there. So I would need more clarity on like difference between reading and hearing. I heard Prabhupada said like reading is also hearing, kind of recorded hearing, but I'm not very clear because that devotee said that hearing is more powerful because we can hear the mood, and then I like reading because it's in a sequence.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if you could elaborate on that.
Well, I mean, what does Srila Prabhupada instruct us? What I remember is that, I am present in my books. And repeatedly, he makes this point that everyone is present in the books. Krishna is present. Besides anyone else, Krishna is present by reading. And then we're instructed in the beginning of Srimad Bhagavatam that there's a certain mood that it is attentive, rapt attention. There are several verses that if one hears Srimad Bhagavatam, just like the Maharaj Brigade. So to hear, yes, the recording, the printed word is the same. It is absolutely the same, and we will experience that sameness, as we do it correctly, just with rapt attention and with respect that this is Shabda Brahman, following the regulative principles so that we have the ability to experience the presence of Krishna and the pure devotees. then again, there's something to be said for having a living mentor or a living spiritual teacher that one can ask specific questions to and that one can be corrected by. Although if we by reading Bhagavad Gita sincerely and any of the different bhakti literatures, we will be corrected severely. And Srila Prabhupada is so strong sometimes when he speaks about certain things that, you know, if we're reading, hearing with attention, and we're honest, oh, I need to change that. I'm not doing that, or I need to do it better. We will be corrected. So
I have one more question and one comment. So Mataji, you want to go first because it might be okay.
Go ahead, go
Okay.
ahead.
Okay. So one devotee on this Krishna.com live chat told me that hearing is like more like to inspire our chanting, and analogy was given that hearing is like a prescription while chanting is the actual medicine. So, but when I hear the glories of hearing, as you were telling in the lecture, so could you clarify that? I mean, it's just like a prescription, and like then it's also said that it's like a medicine, it's in itself, and then that
why
Mataji
not
told
all?
that.
Why not all of it? All of the above. Check all the boxes.
Okay, okay,
Check. I mean, when we hear of course, Srila Prabhupada is everyone's Shiksha Guru. I mean, there's no what madman would put themselves above the potency of his divine grace. And then when we hear from each other or we hear from mentors, like you say, continue hearing Srila Prabhupada, continue following Srila Prabhupada's so we get inspiration and, you know, like this. Isn't that kind of what you're speaking about or what that devotee was talking about? And it nourishes and supports the hearing from Srila Prabhupada and the previous acharyas. Do you think?
yeah, I would agree. Yes.
Yeah, it's not necessarily either or.
Okay, okay. And just one
Repeat.
last comment I had, like you were talking about how we can, how we can do our work, or we may go to supermarket, and that might also be devotion to Krishna. So I had been trying to practice that. So just two realizations I had with that, like when I am attending Mangal Aarti and like also doing a strong sadhana, then like I can think of Krishna more. And then I was also practicing chanting of Prabhupada Pranam Mantra. So when I go to office, I chant that. So I found that very powerful. Like when I'm chanting that, then I can dedicate my work more to Krishna Prabhupada Pranam Mantra. Very powerful. I found that's my
Nice.
realization.
Thank you for sharing. That's
Thank
great.
you.
Good.
Thank you.
Thank you. That's good. And
Thank you.
Kirtika?
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for sharing.
Thank you.
Prabhuji,
Thank you.
I was shocked, and I understood it that people living in a cave, probably eating bats and this, and just have water. They don't know about the outside world, and they're happy. And if you put them outside their normal environment, they will not know what to do. And yesterday I was reading something which said that children who are abused when they were young, and they've had this repeated abusing environment. When they are put into a better environment, they don't know how to take it, because for them, the normal is to get
Yeah.
abused.
Yes.
So even if you give them love and care and everything, for them, they get worked up and they become very anxious. So I
Yeah.
understand it. I really understand it now.
Yeah.
Thank you.
These are
Thank you
called,
so
in
much for
Sanskrit,
sharing
it's called
that.
samskaras or wired software programming. We have
Samskara.
programming of our subconscious that goes on. Yeah. Sometimes in a workplace or somewhere, someone will say to someone else, "I'm not your husband." Meaning, don't think I'm going to be like him. I'm not, not everyone is like him or her, or, we have expectations. Of course we do, what else do we have? Our past experience. So, for each of us, it can be easier or more challenging to run in Krishna Bhakti, because each of us may have more or less of these samskaras, these kind of thinking patterns that are hard to shake. But they do. Of course they do. They gradually melt away over time. That's a very good example about the abused children. That's why we hear repeatedly about Krishna. So we finally, oh, God is like this. I get it. Okay. Krishna, he's not like that. He's like this. I'm thinking he's just always looking to criticize me, and he's always, he's never satisfied. No, he's not. He's not like your uncle. He's a different, he's not Dini, the aunt. Because we do, he's transcendental. So that's transcendental. He's not like the other people, different. So we have to hear again and again, and we hear about Srila Prabhupada, and so that we get to know them. Oh, this is what he's like, really. I can have confidence. I can have, just like Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he says, when I think about how Krishna killed Putana and Bakasura and Agasura, Vatsasura, and he's always protecting the devotees, I feel confident. Yes, he's a protector. He cares about the devotees. This is the pastimes. I can have confidence. Putana, Gatana, Kaita, Vashatana. Then we step out in faith that, okay, I'll try that.
Thank you very much, Prabhuji. Over to you, Bhakta Mugo. Kindly take over. You are muted, Prabhuji.
Maybe there's some technical difficulty. Oh, there is.
We can't hear.
Shaking his
Okay.
head, yeah.
Fine. Maybe I can end the session. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for this wonderful session. You end our week so well, and we are all now charged up to take up tomorrow. Oh, there's a question from Eastern Prabhu. Prabhu, kindly unmute and ask. Eastern Prabhu, Hare Krishna. Maybe we can reserve it for next time.
Or if someone wants to type it in the Srimad Bhagavatam WhatsApp chat, if someone can address it later.
Krishna.
Yes.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, we can hear you now.
I have a question.
Okay.
Concerning
The audio.
There's this thing that person tries as much as possible to change the amount of rounds they are capable of. But personally, if I change the amount of
Could someone repeat the
capable
question,
of
please?
chanting,
The audio is not working for me.
Eastern Prabhu, we cannot understand what you are saying because your audio is not proper. Can you please write the question down?
now.
No, we can't hear you. So can you please write the question down?
And maybe
You are
just
breaking up.
just put it in chat later. Could it? Getting a little late.
Okay, so I think he has challenges, but yes, Kush Prabhu, you have sent your number to us. Would you like us to put you in our group?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
Please add me in the WhatsApp group.
Okay. Okay, so let us end the session for today. Unfortunately, we couldn't get the question from Eastern Prabhu, but I'll encourage him to write in the chat and then Prabhuji can answer that. Okay, let us all chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra once in glorification of Dina Sharana Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Ram Hare. वाञ्छकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभैव च पतितानां
Patitanam Bhavanebhyo
वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Vaishnavai.
His Grace Dina Sharan Prabhu ki jai. Ratraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories. Hare
Thank you
Krishna.
so much for your kind words. You know, just like the air, we breathe the air, we get energy. So all of you are like the air of my life. And when I'm with you, I come to life. Really. So
You
I
are
thank
the
you so
core
much.
of our life, Prabhuji. You are our
Thank
life
you.
and soul.
Thank you so much. Well, we all, you know, together we walk this path of bhakti and we, you know, inspire each other. And so this is our life. This is our society. I wish everyone well and have a safe and happy week and remembering Krishna. Haribol. Jai Shri Prabhupada.
Hare Bol.
Very good.
Hare Krishna.